In this video, I have a few different ways to change up taco night for you. We're going to make taco-inspired meatballs, which you could serve as they are, simmering in a smoky chipotle tomato sauce I'm going to make, or take those meatballs to the next level and make a sub. A taco sub. Even got a kid-friendly / not-so-spicy way to do it. So if you love tacos, meatballs, a little spice, or just love to cook, give this video a like. And if you want more cooking content added to your YouTube feed, then hit that subscribe button. The sauce starts off with chopped onion and olive oil. You want to cook the onion until it gets nice and translucent, and then we need to add a little garlic, a few cloves. Slice them, crush them, however you like it. I have them waiting for me in a large can of crushed tomatoes, which we'll use next, and you want to add that as soon as you start to smell that garlic cooking. So this is where it gets spicy. Chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. I use these all the time. It's a great way to add in some heat, but also really rich, deep flavor. Love the smokiness of them. And in this recipe, I'm actually just going to use the adobo sauce. Pretty much the whole can. I'm going to save some of the adobo sauce for later, and you'll see why. If you really want it spicy, add in a few of those peppers. Make sure to season really well with salt, and I'm tossing in some smoked paprika as well. Let this simmer on the stove for as long as you can. The longer, the better, but at least 30 minutes. For the meatballs, preheat the oven to 400 and get a large sheet pan. Line it up with foil or parchment paper, just to help with cleanup later. Ground beef, 1 pound. You could do it with turkey too if you wanted, or even ground pork. This is all in a large bowl. Dump in the ingredients, mix really well, and form the meatballs. We'll need to add 1 egg, 1 jalapeno, diced in a pretty small dice. I usually always take the seeds out, but if you're looking for more heat, just leave the seeds in. Chop up a nice bunch of cilantro too. And of course, we need to season with salt, garlic powder, onion powder, some more smoked paprika, a little cumin, and I'd say, a tablespoon of the salt and a teaspoon of just about everything else. So something I always do with meatloaf, meatballs, I don't know where I came across it, but I always do breadcrumbs, and a little trick I do just to make them a little more fluffy and a little softer is kind of soak those breadcrumbs. I'm using panko here. Just a splash or two of milk and let them soak up the milk, and then kind of add those softened breadcrumbs into your meatloaf or meatballs. I don't know if it really does anything. Every time I've tried it, I've just loved the results, so I always do it. I'm not going to add in that extra milk that was left over, and it's usually the first thing I do as I'm gathering the ingredients is get my breadcrumbs, let them soak in the milk, and let them soak for a little while. This was pretty quick, but yeah, a good 5 minutes, if that. And taco cheese, your favorite taco cheese. I'm just kind of using the shredded taco seasoned stuff, probably about a cup. So mix everything really well. Use your hands. You want to form these into meatballs that are about golf ball sized. Put them in a 400-degree oven for about 25 minutes. Then here is where you might want to make some changes. The meatballs aren't really spicy at all. They got a good taco flavor to them, if you will. So if you don't want spicy, just go ahead and make your subs with these meatballs. You don't have to make the sauce or anything. I'll show you that coming up here in just a bit. The sauce is where the spice is, and depending on how wild you went with the chipotle. Add in the meatballs to the sauce, let them simmer and soak the sauce in a little bit. So a few minutes before you're ready to make the subs, you want to do one more thing, and that's add a good layer of that taco cheese to the top. Put a lid on it, let that layer of cheese melt really well. And this is also another variation. If you don't want to do subs at all, you could just serve the meatballs like this as an appetizer. You could even put the sauce in a crock pot and build it up that way. You would just need a little more time. So let's make some subs. So we'll start with the kid-friendly, not-so-spicy version. Now these are the meatballs. We didn't even put in the sauce. We just made the meatballs. Get a nice size sub roll ready. And topping-wise is, pretty much up to you. Whatever you like to put on your beef taco or sub. I'm going with sour cream, the meatballs, some cheese, shredded lettuce, some salsa or chopped tomatoes, and a little cilantro. Customize it however you like it. If sour cream just isn't enough flavor for you, something you could whip up while everything is cooking is some spicy ranch. Just grab yourself a ranch dressing packet, sour cream, mayonnaise, a little milk or buttermilk, and the adobo sauce from those chipotle peppers. Let's use that on the next sub. Open up that sub roll, head on over to your pot to get you 3 or 4 of those meatballs and cheese and sauce. And it's great, just like this. We'll add in that spicy ranch though, since we just made it. Oh, and make sure you let it refrigerate for like at least an hour. It'll make the ranch that much better. Lettuce, cherry tomatoes, and a little more ranch for good measure, and cilantro. So, taco meatballs as an appetizer, taco subs without the spicy tomato sauce, or just go all the way with the subs and even throw in the spicy ranch. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next video. It's Cooking with Chris.